Hi, and welcome to the latest episode of CMJ Presents, where we're going to be talking about Christmas and some top tips for retailers to use both in store and online. I'm Fran, I'm head of marketing at the CMJ, and Joe is retail membership manager at CMJ. And so we better get started. So, Joe, let's start with you. You've worked in retail for a long time before you came to CMJ. Where can retailers get inspiration from for their visual merchandising at Christmas?
Lots of different avenues, really, but I would probably start with kind of researching online, looking at social media like on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, etc. Even visits to some larger department stores in London will give you inspiration on, perhaps themes. But even places like the garden centres could even give you a little bit more kind of smaller ideas. But I think for for many retailers, what we need to make sure is that you kind of starting by creating a theme. And this needs to have this kind of storytelling, your brand through that Christmas theme. And this needs to be expanded out into social media, into your website, through your windows and cabinets on the inside and the outside, even down to the smallest detail of like gift wrapping. So I think that's kind of what you need to look at first of all is your theme and how that's going to kind of follow through your brand. And things like saying sparkle this Christmas or gifts last a lifetime. Those are kind of some of the themes that you could incorporate into your stores. What one quick win can retailers do to prepare their websites for Christmas?
I think the one thing that I would recommend that retailers do if they're selling online and they want to attract Christmas shoppers to their website is to have a specific Christmas landing page on their website. It's fairly easy to set up and it has to just be one page so that it's SEO optimized so that people will go there. That way it's easy to monitor your traffic because you know that all of your advertising, whether that's online, on social, that all goes to one central point. So it's your central point for your marketing. So then it's easy to analyze data afterwards. And then from that one web page, so, and lots of multiples do it, for example. So, and they'll be starting to set them up from next month, I would have thought. It's usually like, beaverbrooks.co.uk/Christmas. And it will then feed off into other sections of the website. So you can kind of section off into gift ideas for her, gift ideas for him, watches, wish list, and just kind of make it a little bit inspirational, but it really doesn't have to be very complicated. But it's just something that will help drive retailers who are searching generally for jewelry and watches to your website over your competitors.
Okay, and do you think it would be a good idea for them to link social media to the website?
Especially to your Christmas landing page, because then you can track how you can track where the traffic is coming from. So if you're doing a specific Christmas marketing campaign and you use that URL as your kind of call to action for your website, then you can see how effective your marketing's being.
Oh, great. So it kind of give you those analytics.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not difficult to set up. It doesn't have to be all singing or dancing. It's just one web page added to your site. Christmas promotion seems to be getting earlier and earlier every year. How early do you think is too early to start promoting Christmas? Like, what is the optimum time in your experience?
Well, considering we're in September and we're seeing Christmas already in some stores, hence not retail jewelers, but I think you need to start planning now. I don't necessarily feel that having Christmas displays in your windows and in store is necessarily something that you should do now, but planning is vital. So look at your theme and how that's going to come into the exterior windows, even into like outside the store, whether or not you have some artificial kind of Christmas trees outside, some lighting outside, all of those kind of things will really make your windows eye-catching. But start probably early November. If you do anything for displays regards to Halloween, obviously make sure that they come out, because that seems to be increasingly more commercial nowadays. And then, yeah, start early November. And if you're tying that in with any local Christmas markets or special events in store, then obviously, you need to make sure that those are aligned with it too. Do you think retailers should be getting involved with Cyber Monday and Black Friday?
It's a tricky one, especially for an industry like ours where it's high value and you're selling emotion. It's not that fast sell thing. And I know that some, especially I guess with watches and like maybe lower value pieces, it's something that some retail jewelers get involved with. But I know from our own surveys within our own membership, it's not massively popular. But the worst thing, basically, there's no right or wrong answer. If it works for you, it works for you, and that's great. But the worst thing you can do is decide to do it at the last minute. So if you're going to do it, you need to plan in advance, because the worst thing you can do is get to a couple of days before and panic and not have thought about your pricing or your offers or any of the detail. So if you are going to get involved, all I would say is know what you're going to be doing and plan it accordingly. But if you're not, and you actually are a bit anti the idea of Black Friday, consider getting involved in a different campaign. Like there's a really great campaign called Colour Friday. It runs on the same day as Black Friday. It was set up by the founder of Not on the High Street, and it's specifically kind of to counter the mass production, multiple retail of Black Friday, and it promotes shopping independently and spending your money with independent retailers instead on that day. And they have free assets that you can download from the website. So that's definitely something that I would recommend looking into if you're not doing Black Friday. Yeah, it's a really nice idea. And she knows what she's doing. She's a very successful businesswoman. And yeah, it's a really nice kind of local independent campaign.
We recently, I think it was last year, possibly this time last year, and we'll do it again. We put a poll out on the WhatsApp group asking who would be getting involved with Black Friday, and it was quite interesting to see that majority of our retailers wouldn't get involved. But like you say, actually doing something that might not involve discounting your products or getting involved with that kind of Black Friday scenario could be that you just do something that's a gift with purchase or something along those lines that just could help consumers who are looking for offers, because that's basically what this is all about. The consumers are looking for bargains pre-Christmas, to start as early as possible, and anything like that just might help your brand awareness for that part of the month would be definitely important for a retailer.
You talked earlier about kind of in-person events that you can do as part of your Christmas campaign. What, in your experience, what sort of events work?
A couple of ways, really. I mean, it depends on whether you want to go big or you could go very, very simple. Obviously, the best way would be to get in touch with all your suppliers, perhaps looking at a local venue where you could showcase more products from the suppliers that you have, for fine jewellery, for watches, for branded jewellery, and make it more of an event where you go to your database of clients and make sure that you bring them to a Christmas perhaps preview event. That's probably one of the best ways to be able to do it and to be able to really get some return on investment. But you could go as simple as a cleaning kind of experience where they come in and they get free cleaning on their jewelry. It could be just as simply as putting some mince pies and some mulled wine out and doing a slightly later night shopping experience for anyone, free ear piercing and services and things like that, just again to make sure you're putting your name out as a retailer, that you can offer something different to the competition on the high street. So wish lists are another area which I really think works, because if you do either a wish list on the website where somebody can browse and they can put certain products through the website or in store, and they do like a manual wish list in store, then if the lady or the gentleman have got on their wish list about 5 different items that they might want, then it's going to make that purchase very simple when they come in to decide what they want for Christmas. They've got a choice of 5 items, probably 5 different budgets, and all they've got to do is basically pay for it, have it gift wrapped, job's done.
And they know the recipient is going to be happy.
And they know the recipients, and it brings less people coming back for exchanges, which is always a bonus after Christmas. How else do you feel that they can maximise their online sales then, Fran?
I think there's a few quick things that you can do to kind of make sure that the experience for customers shopping online on your website is as easy and effective as it can be. Obviously, around Christmas, postage is a real big issue, and so to make sure that your last postal date is very clear, so that people know that they need to buy early if they're going to want it in time for Christmas, and even maybe have a visible timeline or a countdown, kind of you've got 1 day left to order, to make sure that you get it in time for Christmas. So postage is really important. In terms of like ways to increase the average basket value, maybe look, if you've got data, which hopefully you do from your website, and you can look at what the past kind of average basket value was, and maybe it's just shy of, I don't know, it's just shy of £150, for example, then maybe even if it's just for a limited time, consider offering a certain percentage off if they spend £150, and it just then nudges them over, because people psychologically think that they're getting a good deal, which they are. But if you've got that data and you can use it, that will work for you to increase sales. If you can add messaging to checkout process, so once they're there and they're just about to buy, if there are extra one-time offers or suggested items, so you might also like customers who bought this also bought, and it could be just small add-on purchases, whether it's kind of like cleaning materials for the jewelry, gift wrapping, all of that sort of just little add-on purchases that makes it also feel a little bit special and saves the buyer time in the long run. And then, believe it or not, I'm sure there are people who on the day of Christmas have forgotten someone. And if can you believe it? But so maybe, yes, I believe it. So do you offer e-gift cards on your website? Because if there's someone sat there on Christmas morning and they suddenly realise that like someone's given them a present and they haven't got anything to give back, and they're just slightly, sleekily looking on their phone, they might be able to buy a little gift card from you that day and get it delivered and give it over that day. And then it's a win-win because it costs you nothing.
And depending on how guilty they feel about it, the more they could actually spend on that gift card.
And they should.
Quite right.
And also our multiples report has just come out today, which gives members lots of insight into what multiples will probably be doing based on their activity last year in the run up to Christmas. So if you're a member and you haven't seen that, do check it out, because it's full of really useful tips too.
And alternatively, if you need any ideas, or if you want me to go through some of the points that I've raised today, then just give me a call and I'll happily go through some of my experiences and some of the key points that I feel are valid for getting ready for Christmas.